Hello guys, welcome to the Ignored Rupee. So today I'm going to discuss on a single stock which I hold, even though not a huge part of my portfolio. I want to actually go visit the decision which I've made and whether it's giving a good returns or terrible returns and what was the initial discussion. I'll also add a link on my initial views on the bank and just give a brief on my previous video and why I've made investments and I've exited it and entered it multiple times. But here are my views, previous views. The first one is the customer base.
हम नहीं रोएंगे हम नहीं रोएंगे अब
The second is banking. So I know that there's going to be this issue. So I'm aware of it. It's not something new, and RBI has already raised them, and I was aware. The next one is I use it on my daily basis, and there are lots of people who use it on daily basis, regardless, still use it as an application because it's a go-to application for me. So that won't stop. So what all reasons are gone right now, and what have changed in Paytm? So after Paytm yesterday, so I've been following them aggressively after what has happened. So here, if you see, they have published few things. One is so they have actually replied and they have already made a video of Uncle G and a son explaining how every other service would work. So as an investor, I'm happy that they have made video contents and they're publishing that. And also where they also said to ANI that it would be working as usual. And they have posted a thread which is interesting to read. So this thread has the information about how Paytm is going to resolve these issue. The issue was with Paytm Payment Bank. So the application now has a capacity to tie up with any small bank. Tie up with someone, a big bank would make sense for Paytm right now, right? That is one way to look at it, but I'm not going to look at that as a direct alternative. But what they're trying to do here is ultimately go on with partnership. Even in my previous video on last year March, I was mentioning the same thing. Whether if they're failing as Paytm, the user base has a lot of potential. I personally feel Paytm has a bigger potential and a larger potential than any other bank in India. Let's say HDFC, SBI, every bank combined. I feel personally Paytm has a lot of potential there. That's why I'm invested. So how? Only because of application, nothing else. These, why am I not saying HDFC can make it is I've waited almost 12 to 14 years, almost 14 years since Paytm started till now. They had a hell lot of time to give a good application, and HDFC still sucks at making a decent application. Again, so tech and banking are two different things. Ultimately, whoever is a tech player, let's say one of the bank which I love the most out of all these is FI Money. I already use this service a lot, and this is the only bank after Paytm Bank which I like and to have a account with. They are closely tied up with Federal Bank. This is not an advertisement. I am using them personally. That's why I recommend them. But ultimately, this money is in Federal Bank. So these guys can not actually use it. It's a interface on top of Federal Bank. That is how I feel about it. So ultimately, in this entire issue, what I feel is these are all initial hiccups which any guy would face, any company would face in the initial journey. If you are a long-term investor, I would see this as a just a bump. Being a bank, you need to have a extreme transparency and a feedback culture where you take a feedback and improve upon it. And banks are not so easy. Even I don't feel that it can be created within years. So a mentality of creating a bank has to take decades, but Paytm as an application is still there, and it still has a huge value potential. I don't think Paytm value is gone anywhere. There is something called confirmation bias because I have a stock already and I have already picked the stock, whether I am having a confirmation bias. Price has dipped almost 40% in last few days, that I am still confused whether to take the trade or not. Now let's look at the valuations again, removing a lot of things and discounting it further, and at what price I will re-enter. Let's say I everything is gone, the business is the entire business is gone. Let's look at that perspective and give a huge discounting on it, and what is the right price which I would enter back. Let's say the stock price, overall stock price, let's see price wise. So there is a huge support at 460. Today it is at 480. So I think even tomorrow the price might crash terribly, because the valuation right now is too high. So the price might crash and I won't even get a chance to exit. So that's given. So let's consider this with another company. Which company should we compare this with? There are not many companies. Let's say if I want to compare with phone pay or Google Pay, I can't even compare with them. So I'm not comparing with them. So even FI I can't compare, even because all are private listed and I might not have the data for those. Give a valuation of my own from this theory, based on this. So let's go to the growth prospect of it. First of all, who are all going? So I see this is irrelevant in Paytm since the start. So I won't even take this anything debt or profit margin or anything. I won't even look into this. This is completely bullshit when it's a growing startup, and Paytm for me is still in a growth phase, and it's a common application which can be used by any Indian. That's what I feel. Now what are the debts which Paytm has? So Paytm, it has cash, so it doesn't need debt is what I feel. So if there is no debt, that is a good thing. If so, Paytm has few competitors. One of them is Google Pay. Ultimately, Google can back them to outcompete Paytm, that's for sure. And there is PhonePe. PhonePe is Flipkart based. PhonePe became the largest UPI player. This is in 2018. Even though, okay, PhonePe is here, Paytm is not here. So Paytm is not in the first top 10 list. Paytm is in 18th, and Google Pay is in 25. And here you have to remember, so Paytm has even booking services, train booking services. Here I can do all the similar functionalities which I can do in Paytm, I can do it in PhonePe. This has 1 crore reviews, and this has 1.87 crores reviews. So whoever is rate, so after those reviews, Paytm is ranking higher. So more than downloads, I would prefer this. So I'm giving rank to a Paytm more than this, because
इसकी गारंटी मैं नहीं दे सकता.
now let's see the latest reviews. If the latest reviews are related to the concerns related to the application, that would give us a negative view, right? Most newest. So this is what we have to see. Best and most newest one. Very good. So nice job. And use this cashback voucher. Promise to cashback. Okay. Rest in peace. So someone knows about it. First app fake deals. Cheating people don't use this app. Kindly uninstall this app. Okay. This keeps on coming. Paytm ऐप बैन नहीं होना चाहिए. पेटीएम पेमेंट बैंक सर्विस और फिक्स डिपॉजिट सर्विस सबसे बेस्ट पब्लिक सर्विस जैसे जानते हैं वैसी है. फिक्स पेटीएम फिक्स डिपॉजिट सर्विस बंद नहीं होना चाहिए. So is it a warning or a review? I don't understand that, but still okay. Good. Service is fine, but the shareholder is losing. Okay. So this is what everyone feels. Okay. ठीक है. Is there any chance that RBI will impose? Okay. Many people are concerned about this, but why would someone post this? Har Mahadev here. Excellent. Okay. Customer care is not responding to the issue. Okay. Postpaid option unavailable. ठीक है. So basically these are reviews which are gone, but so many people are not. I thought that here. Okay. Very disappointed with Paytm. They are doing after without any information. Creating fixed deposit without any information. Now neither they're closing fixed deposit nor fully send them their. Okay. So basically everyone is trying to say that bank is good, and there are these things, but they're not tensed. And I guess there's no much news about this on RBI ban. I'm not sure, but here, यहाँ पे another ban. So I have to search for RBI ban. I guess I don't know how to search in this one. Let's see by the list RBI ban. Okay. So I think the news is not so much of a concern for the users themselves. So that way, it gives me a little bit of better view on. So from there to here, I don't have any concerns as an investor because see, ultimately, if the user is using app and if I have invested because of the users, I'm more concerned about these users than my application than my investment. So when the users are not concerned, the first thing which I have bought it for is a user base. So that is not lost. So I am actually still being invested, and this gives me a little bit of favorable positive condition where I can still think that I can invest here.
यार तुम तो धनाधन फेंके जा रहे हो उछालने की भी कोई लिमिट होती है
what is a what are the other concerns? So first of all, with these things, if it comes at a extreme cheap valuation, I would again invest in it. But the current valuation which it is in is decent but not a good entry point, so I can't enter right now. That is what I would say. Going down further, so what all businesses are completely being wiped off? First of all, that way the loan business, the NIIs will decrease in this. So merchant loans, so if you have seen, the loan percentage has grown a lot over time, and the risk and combined one is 9.5 to 10%. Let's see financial wise how much free cash flow they have. They are in minus right now. Profits, they've been in constant losses since a long time. This is fine. Depreciation and amortization, they are claiming a lot in depreciation and amortization is good as well as bad right now, because they might be building AI related products to give out loans and other things, because they have a huge database of users and their patterns of buying. This adds as a huge value to the startup, but I won't take that as a investment point at all. Let's see sales growth since last 15. They have grown so the if you see the graph, it's growing exponentially. Even I think the sales will grow further to 1000 to 2000 crores. So from so what I will look into is not profits at all right now, and I won't even look into losses right now. What I am considering, I will take my decision based on the mobile number of users which might grow in India. So it's going to do a Bing search and give me a result based on that. So based on this, it's expected to grow at a CAGR of 14.4% is what it's expected to grow, and estimated to reach, the revenue of smartphone is expected to reach at this one. So that's there. And here 5G adoption is one of the key. This will increase, so by the end of 2027, 5G projected to have 40% of mobile subscription in India, equivalent to 500 million subscriptions. So 500 million subscription is huge, and smartphones will come up even at a lower price. So everyone has a access to it. So there is more mobile access, a more vendor access, and more penetration towards this. So over one decade, basically, we are expecting anywhere the sales has to grow with almost 10 to 11% of growth. That is given based on sales. So I'll take sales as a price to sales as a major uh, criterion here, and based on that I'll give the valuation on future growth. That would be one of the metrics for me. 3 years the mean was 6.5, so people have given that valuation. Most of the institutions might have given this valuation even if after they know that it's going to crash. So I'll take 6.5 as a median price to sales, and it has to go back to this level, the present price, and 5 after this there would be 5000 crores of value destruction, because Vijay Shekhar Sharma. Okay, here, yes, here if you see the three paragraphs here, they are saying, depending on the nature of resolution, the company expects this action impact of 300 to 500 crores of EBITDA. So based on uh, these guys word, so I'll only consider this one, price to sales. So well, I am not sure, 100% sure whether this is a right model. So, so already discounting has been given. So 2 days fall, the discounting has been given. So that's why I'm thinking the market value has to be somewhere close to 33,000 crores. But since everyone is in a panic mode, that is a opportunity situation for me. So I would buy it below 33,000 crores. Done a genuine rough calculation here. Whether that works or not, I am not sure. But that is one criterion of that. That is 33,000 crores is one valuation which I've got that I could buy. Fintech sector, PB is a useful metric, tangible, however, for tech and fintech companies like Paytm, whose value largely is on intangible assets as technology platform. This is correct point. The customer relations and brand, this is also a right point. That's why I focus on more on customer relationship. That's why I have read a lot of reviews based on that. And also tangible, intangible assets like technology, I have not considered that at all. And PB ratio might not provide a complete picture. So PB ratio jaya gaya baad mein. Okay, now PS ratio can be more relevant for evaluating companies like Paytm, especially because it provides insight into the value placed on each dollar of the company sales. This can be particularly useful for the growth companies may not be profitable but significantly revenue growth. So this is the entire point which I'm looking into. So price to sales ratio helps understanding the market value of the company's revenue stream. However, it does not account for profitability, operating costs, or cash flows, which are critical for companies' sustainability. So PS ratio is a BS ratio here. Okay, it just gives us whether the sales are growing, and it doesn't again consider profitability. But since it's a startup and they can't be profitable right now, it is and India mein cost of acquisition is extremely low compared to other countries. And since you're a big brand, I don't think that would matter a lot after a certain level, and it would the masses of scale will play in there, and lifetime value is basically I'll treat it as 5 years and more than 5 years for brand like Paytm because they are already have a brand around it. And compare Paytm with peers using variety of financial operational metrics to understand the positions in market. Yes, compare we have compared Paytm with PhonePe, which is a leading player, and I found that the reviews of Paytm are much better than PhonePe in terms of ratings, at least. So I have to go in depth of it, which might take a lot of time. So I'm not going into that.
अबे किधर है बे कट इट कहाँ है
Yeah, 378 is a good figure for me. So that is where I'll be tempted and I'll buy 2x of the stock. And I'm not caring about what I hold right now. I'm only caring about when I can buy it next. So since there is a panic in people, I'm trying to catch a falling knife, which is against everyone. So again, in my previous video, I'll repeat that sentence. In in trading, I follow momentum. In investment, I follow my thesis is what I feel correct. Like I might even take losses there. So even in previous investment decisions, even though I take losses, I follow my intuitions. Again, let's be careful in investing and just stay invested, and whenever you think your thesis is going wrong, or go back to that and create vlog like me or whatever, so to remember much easier and have a certain confirmation bias like me if I am confirmation biased. So I have broken down my confirmation, and whether I'm confirmation biased or I'm not, I have gone through various things. I might be having a pinch of confirmation bias and leaning view towards Paytm, or specifically I guess towards Vijay Shekhar Sharma.
अंदर से मालूम था तू लाइफ में कुछ करेगा नहीं झूठ बोल रहा है नो 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 आई एम टेलिंग
Him as an entrepreneur, so I feel that it has to win. I'm betting it with my money, which I shouldn't, or whatever. Ultimately, I'm taking my decision, so everyone has to take their own decisions at the end. So be careful in your investments and invest safe. Okay, guys, that's it for this video. It has been a lengthy video.